conveniently located outside of Amsterdam. But there was a huge sign on it that was actually in the advertisement of the hundreds I had to subscribe to, which cost me dearly, that said, "No one over 35 allowed." Now, that is not a paraphrase. And it was huge. And it said, "No one over 35 allowed." Of course, saying that if you were over 35 years old, you were not allowed to lease there. Now, I never could get that out of my head. I had looked at what I felt a very unwelcoming process over a year trying to get in there. The main advantage I need to tell you, or one of them, was that it is a form of public health care that essentially, as a semi-resident, if you pay approximately, let's say, $300 to $400 a month, essentially, eventually, you will get this public form of healthcare, which is much less expensive, as you probably know from the news and history recently. But that didn't work out because my husband's state of mind, which is a PTSD-induced rare form of non-degenerative but severe dementia. He was a Master Sergeant First Class, Desert Storm, and the beginnings of Desert Shield and Storm reversed there. And of course, he was injured wartime and decorated. But this rare form of dementia, mixed with neurological issues from getting old, mixed with his emphysema and severe PTSD, have not boded well for him, his brain, nor his body. And it has been a struggle, as many of you know, for me for quite some time. So this whole thing fell apart. It literally, the apartment fell apart. I had to slow down the visa process. All of the passport type visa easier stuff was all done. Tickets were actually purchased. We had a date that wasn't too close, but not far out, maybe quite enough. And of course, we missed those flights, lost the apartment, and everything that we had spent on state certifications and visas, as I've mentioned, was all lost. But I wouldn't say a blessing in disguise, but had we relocated there and had my husband deteriorated, for lack of a better word, this uncomfortably rapidly, considering, or relatively speaking, we would be there and we would be in a lost Alice in Wonderland, nowhere, clueless place, having to deal with 3 times as many problems with his health. So it had to be abruptly called off. I made profuse apologies, I believe, or at least one, or thank yous, with the GoFundMe, and why essentially it didn't work out, and how I said I would love to spend it for both of us, one last trip to London from Christmas to New Year's, but of course that didn't work out either. So that's the story as previewed this evening, the whole relocation bungle. This happened about 2 years ago, just shy perhaps, and here we are. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for your well wishes. I do appreciate them. Like I said, the show must go on in my little brain because of this weird theater background. It's therapeutic for me to stay on schedule, which is also an ASD thing. So take good care. I love you. Bye.